Hi, welcome to a ranked TFT game. I've been jumping between hyperroll and ranked so I can try to get back to my previous rank from previous seasons. This game started off with a decent skirmisher start, but as you can see, also threw some forgotten at me. So I decided to play it cautious and not instantly level up to 4. So I was likely to go on a lose streak, but my goal is to hopefully not lose too much while picking up the gold that you get from a lose streak. So if I can just take out 1 or 2 of their players, I'm doing okay. I grabbed the Shadow Vest here because that can either make Runan's Untamed Hurricane or a Risk Thirster, which are both good for a Skirmisher build, and also a Shadow item is good for a Forgotten build. However, since I already have a Silver Udyr and they haven't given me additional Warwicks, I'm not really feeling the Forgotten build right now. So when this match is over, to Econ and get that 1 extra gold, I'm going to sell the Victor so that I have 10. I'm rewarded with a Pantheon, and this will now give me the 3 Skirmishers to at least shore up that part of my build. I'm specifically looking to not level up right now because I want to stay on my lose streak. I'm not losing too much health, but it is giving me extra gold that I know I'm going to need later on if I want to make a complete Skirmisher build. So for me, carousels are usually about the item. Even though they have a couple of good skirmishers on there, they have Trundle, they have Cannon, I want that sword because I know that to have Jax ultimately work in this game, he needs a lifesteal item or to have a ton of heals behind him, but I'd rather have the lifesteal item on him. At this point, I make the Bloodthirster on Udyr as a good way to continue to shore up the team. However, I'm not leveling up or pushing any levels at this point. If I lose my lose streak, I lose my lose streak. But at least I'm going to keep the interest I'm earning from the gold. And at this point, that's going to be 2 extra gold per round since I'm over 20 and will be over 30 after this round. So my lose streak may be over, but now I'm picking up 3 interest per round. And in a perfect world, this fight continues a win streak that will get me more gold, or isn't just a complete dumpster fire. Unfortunately, yeah, sometimes it just goes this way and you lose a lot more health than you'd like to. The NPC round is pretty good to me. It gives me another Pantheon, which is absolutely key to my build, and items that can be used on other characters later, such as the Shroud of Stillness for Nidalee when I get her. Notice I'm still not leveling at this point. I'm staying behind and econing, holding on to as much gold as possible. I know the key to the Skirmisher build is going to be Jax, and Jax is a 4-cost unit, which I'm going to have to be ultimately a higher level to survive, but I'm probably going to need a lot of gold to roll in order to get it. So if I win, that's great, and here I won. I choose the Shadow Bow because that's going to make Runan's Untamed Hurricane, but also at this point I'm going to pick up 2 levels, and notice it's now time to start rolling. I need to sturdy up this team and try to get it out to the 6 Skirmishers, and that means rolling where I need to roll at this point to make this team strong. I can now get rid of the Hecarim, I can put the Runan's Untamed Hurricane on Udyr, and I now have 6 Skirmishers and a fairly strong team for the mid-game. A couple of more rolls to bring it down to make sure that I can absolutely keep this going all the way throughout. I'm safe down to 8 because I can sell that Hecarim to bring myself back up to 10 and get 1 interest. Now my entire goal has changed. I was low end because I had been on a lose streak, but now I feel like I'm capable of being on a win streak. The 6 Skirmishers is a very strong mid-game build. Udyr will do quite well with the Runan's Untamed Hurricane and the Bloodthirster. It will keep him alive and allow him to hit 2 additional targets. Rewarded with a Silver Nidalee, it is time to slam some items on her. Shroud of Stillness is the obvious first one. Not only does it help remove mana from the other team, but it gives her an additional 15% dodge chance, bringing her up to 60% dodge chance once she changes into Cougar form. And honestly, I don't understand why Skirmishers are not more contested right now, because they make such a strong mid-game comp, and Jax is a really good end-game champion. but it seems that when I go for it, I have it to myself. This is one of those times I'm going to try and not go for item because I see jacks on the board until the person took them away from me, so I'm going to have to go for item. I still have a sparring glove sitting on my bench, so the giant's belt will combine with that and make a trap claw, which would make a second dodge item for Nidalee, allowing her to become even stronger and more effective attacking into the back line. I can sell the Morgana, pick up a Trundle. The name of the game right now is Econ, Econ, Econ. I want to keep my gold above whatever the next 10 number is. So if I didn't have 20 gold, I would have locked to get the Trundle, but since I was able to sell the Morgana to bring myself above 20, I could buy the Trundle, be at 21, and I will pick up that extra gold. Here again, you can see the power of the mid-game skirmishers as they tear through a team with a gold Kha'Zix. This is the person currently leading the board. They're on a fire win streak as well as me. However, again, I just want to stress the power of the mid-game skirmishers. Put a few items on the right characters, ones that are either going to keep them or are good item holders, and they can really get through really strong comps. There are some very specific conditions for endgame wins, which we'll get into a little later in this match. But right now I want to explain what I am about to do. I'm on a 5-game win streak right now, and even though I'm over 50 gold, so I'm going to be getting 5 interest, I'm also getting maximum gold for my win streak. My goal is to give myself the best chance of rolling for a 4 or a 5 while keeping that win streak going. If I had stayed at level 6, I wouldn't have had any chance for a level 5, and my chances for a level 4 would be drastically reduced. I now have a 15% chance of rolling a level 4, and because I have an extra player on the board, I have a pretty good chance of continuing this win streak, thereby getting an additional 3 gold per match. I'm rewarded right here with a Viego. Only a 1% chance, but it's better than 0, and it actually worked out. I can put a Viego on the board long before anyone else has a chance to really get a 5 out there. This should allow me to keep my win streak going for a little bit longer. Same rule as in Hyper Roll, it's important to know your synergies and take advantage of them. Having 7 skirmishers isn't terrible, however, having 2 Dawnbringers will allow them to heal a little bit if they get low, and especially since I'm counting on Nidalee to provide a large part of my backline damage, giving her the ability to heal back up if she takes some damage and fails to dodge is a really good thing to have. So putting out that additional Dawnbringer shores up the team and allows me to keep the win streak going. This is a simple trade to just keep ourselves above 40 gold so that we'll get the 4 interest, but give ourselves the chance at the silver ribbon. As you can see, the whole goal is to just keep the win streak alive, keep the extra gold coming in, so that when the time comes, I can actually roll down and get everything I want. On this carousel, I'm now towards the top, so I don't get too many choices as what to do. I pick up a Negatron cloak as likely my best option in the moment. I still don't have my jacks, so my goal is to try now to get to level 8 as quickly as possible, so we sell Nidalee and level 2 times going into the next fight. Now I can see instantly that this team is going to be really hard to beat. They have a gold Soraka, a gold Kha'Zix, and a Garen. They're running Dawnbringer, and they are just super strong. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get through them at this time. However, I want to point something out that's really important. I'm level 7 with 50 gold, which means I'm getting 5 interest. They're level 6 at 0. They've rolled everything they can to put this together. Notice, I still have my 50 gold, so I'm getting 5 interest. I'm going to get to level 8 way ahead of them and have a real good chance to complete my build before they're able to get to their next level. I'm immediately rewarded with a Jax, but it's not exactly time to put him out yet. I have high enough health that I can suffer a loss right now, and I can go through the NPC round and get myself to level 8 in 5-1 and then try to roll down for a silver Jax and get absolutely everything I want when I need it to make a final push towards endgame. 2-starring the Riven is an absolutely easy call to make, and we can get through the NPC round, see what we get, and then decide exactly how we're going to play this out. Once through the NPC round, it is time to go to 8 and then roll down and see everything we can get. The decision whether to push to 9 is often a really tough one. Here, I decide I'm just going to stop at 8. I missed the Garen the first time, picked him up the second time, and then picked up the Taric because in the long run, Garen and Taric make an absolutely fantastic combination because they give you the Knight buff and some additional healing. I get my Jax, silver him up with the Nico's help, I got off, and quickly put items on him. Since I no longer have a chance to get a rapid fire cannon, I decide with a Rage Blade, and I have the healing item, I have the Untamed Hurricane, which is hitting 2 additional targets, and I then have the Rage Blade, which is just speeding his attacks more than his ult already does. This makes him an absolutely formidable opponent. I can now take out the Riven because having 3 Dawnbringers doesn't give you an additional buff, but putting in Taric will give you that extra Knight buff. A Gargoyle Stone's Plate makes Garen a little extra tanky, which is great, although I would much rather have a Warmogs on him since his ult is based on a percentage of his health. However, he can hold people up enough that it gives Jax enough time to get strong and take people out. We see a second Garen, pick it up in the hopes that maybe we can make it into a silver Garen, but it's just roll time. What can we pick up? What can we silver? Is there even an outside chance that we can turn one of our critical units to a gold? This is the time to find out, and we don't skimp on the pate. We just keep rolling and grab everything that we could possibly grab that makes sense for our build. Things like Jaxes, Pantheons, Garens, etc. Into this fight we go with our silver Jax with all the items that we really want on them, and I kind of feel bad for this team, and I don't like to bash someone else's build, but I have not been able to get the Draconic build to work for me so far this season. On this carousel, I am absolutely chomping at the bit because I see a Warmogs, and I want it for my Garen, because that, as I said before, is an absolutely key item for his ult. We slam that item right onto Garen, and then I will save you 45 seconds of rolling that pretty much got me nothing but a single Pantheon and another Jax waiting to be purchased when this round is done. I'm looking at possibly getting either a gold Pantheon or gold Jax at this point, and also, of course, a silver Garen if something like that could happen. This is kind of a fun fight because she's backed into a corner and really tanky, but isn't it satisfying when Garen's ult just finishes her off? More rolling, and another 2-star Jax is there, and I realize, why am I holding on to these cannons I'm absolutely not going to use? So I sell them, pick up the Jax, and now I have 2 silvers, which means I am just 3 Jaxes away. I check out the competition to see where the best place to put my Nidalee is, so I have the best chance of knocking them out, and as per usual, I guess wrong, and am on the complete wrong side of the board to take out the majority of their team. Luckily, the Garen with the Warmogs is super tanky, my Taric is just occupying Kha'Zix, and while he dies, in the meantime, Jax has done a whole ton of work and just cleans house on their team. The next NPC round gave me a Trap Claw, which I just put on Garen because at this point, why not? Get a second Viego, another Pantheon, and we're still rolling to see what we can get, and another Jax. So I'm looking at the board going, okay, I'm 2 away on Jax, I'm 2 away on Pantheon, I'm 1 Garen away and 1 Viego away from really having an absolutely solid team I know can win. In this case, I guess correctly with my Nidalee and take out the right side of their board, which is where a lot of their power is. Jax unfortunately gets stunned, but here you can see the importance of having the heal item on him, because watch how much he comes back and how quickly he's able to get through their team with that heal item. More rolling, rewarded with a silver Viego, and the competition is getting smaller. We're getting a better chance at being able to guess where to go. I line up Viego with Nidalee because I want them to not be able to cast on Viego before he's able to do his ult. In this case, again, I guess correctly, and Nidalee takes out a large part of their team. Now this is the same team we faced before that had the incredibly tanky Lux in the corner who was able to hold on longer than you thought. But this time, Viego has stolen their Syndra, so even though Lux is able to hang on, their own Syndra takes her and flings her to the other side of the board, which gives everyone a chance to gang up on her and finish her off. Some more rolling, and we are now 1 Jax away from what we need to turn him into a gold. Now this is that same team from earlier that we lost to, that I said we would be able to handle as we got later into the game, and this is the key. They were level 7 with 0 gold, I was level 8. I had that additional player out when it mattered, and here, once again, we hit the jackpot. Yes, I have to put the joke in for my kid anytime it happens. But I don't care what item it's going to have, I just want the gold. The more evil Nomicon will go on Pantheon because he has an AoE attack, and that way it'll be effective. If I had had Kennen, it would have gone on him. However, with a gold Jax, I don't think at this point I can be stopped. I probably should have sold a Pantheon to pick up the Taric and silver him, but with 58 health, I wasn't particularly worried about losing. If I lost, I had an opportunity to adjust, and with a gold Jax, with these items, I didn't think there was any way I could be stopped. His attack speed was going to reach maximum fairly quickly, and his attack damage was just increasing so much that it was going to be almost impossible to end it, and with 14,800 damage, Jax leads the board and leads me all the way to victory. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have an absolutely awesome day.